Give all praises to the Most High Yah that we're able to sit before Him this day on His Sabbath day and get an opportunity to honor His Sabbath along with Him. Today is going to be an exciting day, but first of all, we want to give all praises to the Most High just for having sight on this day and able to read His Word and all the other things that come along with surviving here during our captivity. We definitely want to get into a lesson today that is very rarely, you very rarely see it, you very rarely hear it. But we want to get into the judges of Israel. A lot of times we say we're judges, we think that someone is sitting on a panel and someone has wronged themselves and have wronged, and we come out and a judge come up and he sentences them one way or another, or he set them free. But today we're going to do something a little different, but we're going to start off in the book of Deuteronomy. We're going to go to Deuteronomy 1 and 4. Deuteronomy 1 and 4.
Deuteronomy 1, chapter 1, verse. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel on this side of Jordan in the wilderness, in the plains over against the Red Sea, between Paran and Tophel and Laban and Hazarah and Disahel. These are 11 days' journey from Horeb by the way of Seir unto Kadesh Barnea. And it came to pass in the 14th year, in the 11th month, on the first day of the month, that Moshe spake unto the children of Israel, according unto all that the Elohim had given him in commandment unto them. After he had slain Sihon, the king of the Amorites, which dwelt in Heshbon, and Og, the king of Bashan, which dwelt at Ashtaroth.
Okay, so what we actually wanted to put in place, read these particular scriptures is that Moses speaking to the children of Israel according to all that the Most High had given unto him in commandments, and he spoke those unto him. But now we want to jump down just a little bit. We want to jump down to Deuteronomy 1 and 10. Continue to read it.
The Elohim, your God, hath multiplied you, and behold, ye are this day as the stars of heaven for multitude.
Okay, now do we remember that from somewhere? Is there anywhere that we remember that from? Yes, but it came a little bit before Revelation. Genesis. And what happened in Genesis? He told Abraham, he made a covenant with Abraham. And inside that covenant, which would be Genesis 15 and 3. Genesis 15 and 3. Brother Kevin, if you read that for us, and read 3 down through 3 to 6. We just want to go ahead, and what we want to do is we want to just tie this in so that we let the book do the talking, and it's going to confirm what we just read in 10. It said that where it was told that Israel has been multiplied as the stars in the heavens.
So this is Genesis 15, chapter 3. And Abram said, behold, to me you have given no seed, and lo, one born in my house is my heir. And behold, the word of Yahuwah came unto him, saying, this shall not be your heir, Ishmael, but he that shall come forth out of your own bowels should be your heir.
So I wonder how a lot of times you run into Ishmaelites. I think they are the ones that does am I right? Are these the ones that does the, what you call that religion?
Islam.
If they do Muslim, Islam, how can they continue to stand and say they're the chosen people, right? When it clearly says right here that, we know Ishmael came from the handmaid, am I correct, brother?
That's right.
And him coming from the handmaid, let us know that that's not, that's not Abraham's seed. Well, it was his seed, but I think, right, but he's not the chosen seed. But also, I think that when he told me it was going to be coming from his seed, because when you marry, two become one. He and Sarah was married, so him and Sarah became basically the same seed. So by them coming the same seed, remember? So that's why it was read that way. It says, if you read it again from your brother.
All right. So this is at 4, which is what Yahuwah speaking. And behold, the word of Yahuwah came unto him, saying, this shall not be your heir, but he that shall come forth out of your own bowels shall be your heir.
So what he had done was he had touched Abraham and his wife, because the two shall become one. He was not married to the handmaid. So he wasn't married to the handmaid, then that discounts her. Do everybody understand where we are with that? So that kind of like changes things a little bit. But go ahead and read, my brother.
And on to 15 and 5, Genesis 15 and 5.
Mm-hmm.
And he brought him forth abroad and said, look now toward the heavens.
And now listen now, this is Abraham, this is the Most High talking to Abram. He's not talking to Abraham. Abraham does not exist at this point. Let's go.
Look now toward the heavens and tell the stars, if you be able to number them. Mm-hmm. And he said unto him, so shall your seed be.
Read.
And he believed in Yahuwah, and he counted it to him for righteousness.
You see that? So he believed in him. Of course, it was counted to him as righteousness. But this is where the promise of the Most High went unto Abraham, and Abraham received that promise. So that goes back to when we read in Deuteronomy 1 and 10, where it says that the Lord your God has multiplied you, so that has came to pass. You see that? So it came to pass at that hour. We just put that hour in place just by going back and reading the prophecy. So, Brother Reggie, you go ahead with 11. That's Deuteronomy 1 and 11.
The Elohim Yahuwah of your fathers make you 1,000 times so many more as ye are, and bless you, as he hath promised you.
So if you've seen that one promise come, that one promise came to pass. So when this writer was speaking, he was telling them about the promise that was made unto Abram, and that how it had came to pass. Now he's telling them once again, he's saying that he's going to make you 1,000 times so many more as ye are right now today. You see that? Mm-hmm. So he showed them one promise has been completed. One promise has been fulfilled. Now, if you can believe that, and Abraham believed. So now, when they come up with the second promise, that they will be 1,000 times more as they are now, he said that they should believe. And give me that 12th verse.
How can I myself alone bear your cumbrance, and your burden, and your strife?
Read.
Take you wise men and understand it, and known among your tribe, and I will make them rulers over you.
Okay, so now we're getting into some meat, right? So he said he's going to make them rulers over them. What do we think of when we think of rulers? We start thinking about kings, don't we? Mm-hmm. We start thinking about a lot of different things with titles other than, rulers. Rulers is different from where we're about to go, but rulers. If you read that 1 and 16 for me, brother Reggie.
And I charge your judges at that time, saying, hear the causes between your brethren, and judge righteously between every man and his brother, and the stranger that is with him.
So now, the rulers that he put over Israel was not how would you say that? They was not, but it happened in a couple of different ways. But I want to say it this way. The particular ruler we're talking about right now was not kings that he was talking about. He wasn't talking about kings and princes and all those different type of people. He was talking about judges. Now, let's see what kind of judge. He said, and I charged your judges. He said, I charged your judges at that time, saying, here the causes between your brethren, and judge righteousness between every man his brother, and the stranger that is with him. Okay, next slide, brother. Okay, so now we want to kind of like tie it. We're going to try to tie the slideshow, and we know a lot of people can't see it. But the slideshow, we have a slideshow here about Israel, and it's showing the Israelites would spend over 200 years trying to gain control of the region. That at first would be ruled by a set of judges who are temporary leaders in the time of danger. The 12 tribes of Israel will settle in Canaan and divide the land among themselves. So now, as we deal with these judges, we're looking at that. Yeah, he said judges over them, but these judges was to rule over them. So now he's talking about ruling judges, right? But it said what? Temporary leaders in times of danger. So these judges was like leaders. They was not like someone that sat on a panel and say cut his right hand off. You know what I mean? Get rid of that eye over there. He speaking tongue. You know. So where you at, brother? Ready?
17.
17. Read 17 for me.
Ye shall not respect persons in judgment.
So now let's back up for a second. Also on the slideshow, I want you guys to see that how they divide. They did a division. So that they began to divide the land of Canaan, and all the tribes took their own areas where they supposed to, where they reside, right? But also, these judges was not supposed to judge with a point of respect of person. If it was their best friend, and they was wrong, they was wrong. If it was how would you say it? If it was a Levite, and this Levite, I mean, he just perfectly went into the tabernacle and did the things he was supposed to do in the tabernacle. But if he became wrong, he was judged upon his wrongs regardless. There was supposed to be no respect of person. And that's one of the things that's going on in this hour with Israel in this hour. In this hour, Israel has a respect of person. There should not be a respect of person. In fact, we should even seek to respect above our brethren. Our brethren should be as one. We shouldn't seek to be greater than the other one. Every brother my blood don't, it ain't like I have a royal blood that bleeds different from the Israelite blood that's the same blood of mine. Our blood gonna bleed the same, right? My life is worth the same as his life, right? My understanding and word it has the same quality of the understanding word for what he has, because nobody's always have this thing so great and have it down so that they have it so down pat that they stand in the same, I would say, that they can stand in the same conversation about Hamashiach, right, or in the same conversation of Melchizedek. You see me?
Now, by the same token, I will say that they weren't anybody. Like they were, as it says in 1 and 13, take you wise men,
yes,
and understanding and known among your tribe. So these are people that have some type of reputation,
yes,
and they have some type of respect, and it's
some type of reverence,
right? And it's well, certainly according to their wisdom and understanding.
yes, So these people, yes.
One thing about too in Acts 6, when we said choose from you wise men with
yes,
full of spirit and wisdom, and so they had to choose men who stood out as somebody who honored the Most High.
Right, Because, okay, in this walk, we're gonna learn, and we're gonna see that there's gonna be men that study, there's gonna be men that read, there's gonna be men with understanding, there's gonna be men without understanding. There's gonna be men that don't read, there's gonna be men that don't study. You know? So yes, of course, I mean, it goes, how to say, it goes unsaid. But to my point is that as a life, as a person, there is not, if a man that's not wise does the same thing, if a wise man commits the same sin as a man that's unwise, that wise man should be judged, is what I'm saying, according to what I'm reading. That there should be no respect of person. That don't mean that you can go out and you can be a whoremonger, but because you're a wise man, that gives you a green card to go out and mingle with all the whoredom that you can do. That don't mean that.
These were righteous, they were
Yes.
righteous men.
Yes, Sister Beck.
Not Pharisees.
Exactly. Exactly, not Pharisees. Sister in the back.
It just reminds me of King David.
Uh-huh.
He had a respected person when his
Yes.
son had to come up before him. He couldn't judge his son righteously.
He could not. He could not. But, and think about this. You want to really look at that with King David, and he couldn't judge his son righteously. But the person that was wronged was his child also. It was his daughter. You see that? He couldn't judge his son righteously, right? And his son has sinned against his daughter. You see that? That was kind of a thing that kind of like that put a lump in my throat when I first read that, and I first got that. It's just like you got, kids growing up in your house. You're gonna say because you my baby girl, you get more privileges than my older son. No. If you go out and do what he done, you're gonna get the same penalties. So that's what we gotta look at. Now plus, when you're talking about Israel as a whole, especially in a lot of, I don't really like getting into this, but I'm gonna do it anyway. When you're talking about a lot of camps, you got a lot of people in camps that does things and they judge camp wrongfully. Even better. I got one even better. We gonna come outside of Israel for this one. But you got all these priests running around following little kids and playing games with these little, committing all these little things to these kids. But how many have y'all seen behind bars? I'm waiting on that. And if they really want to show me that they trying to do something about these priests, I got all the words for them that I can't say. But if they want to show me that they actually trying to do just about the people that these priests and what they've done to these children, you will see some behind bars. You see some with life sentences, and they wouldn't be sending them to those prisons where that they got widescreen TVs and lazy boards in there, and they eating lamb every weekend. They would be in one of those same prisons that they come out and they get some turkey and bread. You got a boiled egg. It's not, you're not gonna get no scrambled egg with cheese.
And not only are the so-called authorities in those organizations not holding them to task, these are the people that say that they believe in those organizations.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's corruption. Sister Lisa got to talk to me.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, well, apparently, you think about the saying, all roads lead to Rome. The Pope has his own jurisdiction.
Yes.
So he has his own set of laws and rules and justice and all that sort of things. So when his people do something, they fall under his jurisdiction.
Right.
So he makes the call.
He makes the call. And it don't matter what the world thinks.
Yeah, no matter what the world
He can go out and them guys can go out and they can they can violate any nation, any person. In fact, they can violate people of their own nation, and there's still no justice there.
Well, you got our government, this government here now, but this government that we're in, they're justifying it by trying to pass these laws. Where if a kid is 11 or 12, then they can have sex, or are they teaching them this in kindergarten?
Right, well they are.
And they saying it's acceptable to be gay or transgender. They're teaching this in the curriculum, And so, far as the world say, there's nothing wrong with it.
So, you know, when and it wasn't a whole lot of long time ago, so don't look at me like I was back then. And they said, let there be light, I stood up. But back when I was in school, you didn't hear about within the beginning of school, from like the first grade through the seventh grade, you didn't hear about sexual things. You didn't hear, but when they started bringing this transgender crap in here, and they started putting that, and they want to make it known amongst the kids, because a lot of them get together and they raising kids together, that pricks the mind of the kid, and now the kid wonder, what are these sexual components? What are they for? Well, yada yada, and it brings them away from being a child, and make them grow up earlier. Yes, ma'am.
The Talmud that the Jewish people
Yeah.
follow, in their book, it says that they can molest children at 3.
3 and 10.
Wait a minute, hold on, wait.
That's not their child.
Wait a minute, in the Talmud.
In the Talmud.
3
Well, I
all
want-
in a day.
But I'm wondering these people the people that follow the Talmud, do they know that this is in there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's their practice. They gotta know.
Okay, so let's go back. Now I'm asking you a question. Go ahead, brother.
They use it to justify their actions.
Okay, so now,
Islam as well.
and that's what I was getting to. So Islam follow the Talmud, am I right? What do they follow? Quran. Okay, even at that. Anybody that follow anybody that say they can rape your child at the age of 3,
In a day.
and huh?
Like that day really makes a difference.
They can do 3 on a day?
3 years.
3 years on one day.
So like he said they can do 3 in a day. They going to hell 5 times, man. 10 times over.
Oh, Lord, help me. Help me so much. I need help. Man, 'cause I thought I heard 3 in a day. I said, that's going to be a busy dude. No wonder these priests get away with this stuff. They can do 3 a day, boy. The kid can't even come down there and get blessed. Lay hands on you, but they put a whole new avenue in laying hands on them. Wow. Well, let's get back to that. That was even though that was a part, that's good. Brother, I think you're at 18. Am I right?
The last part of 17.
Okay, go back through 17. Put us back on
17, Deuteronomy 1:17.
Uh-huh.
You shall not respect persons in judgment,
Uh-huh.
but ye shall hear the small as well as the great.
You see that? You should hear the small as well as the great. So just because these priests are supposed to be these great guys, and these people that they're molesting are just a kid in school, you're supposed to be able to hear both. Bring my brother.
Ye shall not be afraid of the face of man, for the judgment is yours. And the cause that is too hard for you, bring it unto him, and I will hear it.
To bring it unto me, and I will hear it, right? Read the 18th verse.
And I command you at that time all the things which ye should do.
And read.
And when he departed from Horeb, he went through all the great and terrible wilderness, which ye saw by the way of the mountain of the Amorites. And the Elohim of God commanded us. And we came to Kadesh Barnea.
Read.
And I say unto you, ye are come unto the mountain of the Amorites,
Amorites, okay.
which the Elohim of Yahuwah doth give unto us.
Okay, read.
Behold the Elohim that have set the land before thee. Go up and possess it. And the Elohim Yah of the fathers have said unto thee, fear not, neither be discouraged.
So, you know, it's funny. It's funny how Israel, a lot of Israel is, I'm from today, the ones that have awakened, because, you know, Israel has a certain way that they treat the Most High, the way they live. They have a tradition that's way beyond most traditions. And it should be, can you give me the next slide? It'll be coming up eventually soon here. There it goes.
But
So-
think about too, that because we're in the time of the awakening, everything is being exposed.
Yes.
And you had, in Pennsylvania, they did an investigation, and there was like 70 priests that molested over 1,000 children. And so, the state attorney, and they investigated for the whole state of Pennsylvania. And so after that happened, you got Tennessee, Delaware, Virginia, the country of Chile. And so you got all over the world and in our country where they investigated all the priests all over the country, exposing all this stuff.
And like the sister was saying, that comes from an awakening. For the brothers behind me, if I don't see you, if you want to make a comment, let me know and say something so we can hear you, and we go forward. But as the sister's saying, you know, this stuff been going on. They haven't did 1,000 kids in the last 4 years.
No.
You know, this been going on for a long time. But as the Most High has begun to wake Israel up, it's showing Israel. It's showing us, and it's not only showing Israel, but it's showing the whole world. You know what is going on with the corruption of the system that has boldly come to an end. But what about? Yes, ma'am.
I have a scripture.
Okay.
This is Luke 8:17.
Yes, ma'am.
For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest.
Yes.
Anything hidden that shall not be known come
Mhm.
wrong.
That's right. So everything. So there's another scripture that says those things that are done in the dark shall come to the light. You know. So one of the bigger things that we got to look at is that even in our own eyes, you know, we can't do anything with respect to person. So very small things that are done with respect of a person can cause huge damage. You know what I mean? It can cause huge damage. You know, you at 19 now?
20.
20, and read.
And I say unto you,
And I say unto you,
ye are coming to the mountain of the Amorites,
they came to the mountain of Amorites,
which Yahweh Elohim doth have given us unto us.
okay?
Behold, Yah, thy Elohim, hath set their land before thee. Go up and possess it, as Yah, the Elohim of thy fathers, hath said unto thee. Fear not,
Fear not.
neither be discouraged.
Yeah. So, you know, all the things we're hearing nowadays and inside the news, and we know that, I know that as we begin to talk about it, a lot of people, I saw a lot of disgust on a lot of faces, right? But even at that, you can't let that discourage you. You got to move forward because we're like pilgrims just passing through. This is not our land. You know, we are attached to the land that He gave us, the land that was on the list. So we know that there are many judges, right? Go back, my brother. So I want to just touch on those are the 12 judges of Israel. They look kind of a little bit, you know, you can't really see them. I can't see them too good. Can y'all see them? Oh, you can see them? You do see them too? No. Can you see them? This guy got a long side. So it's 12 of them, right? But we're going to only deal, if I'm right, we're going to deal with the first, we're going to deal with all over to Deborah, which is going to be the first 4. I think the first one is, can you pronounce that? Daniel. Ehud.
Ehud. Shemaga, and Deborah. I said that.
Well, I don't know the second, the third one. Who's got that one right?
Shemaga.
I think it's kind of.
I'm trying to put the Hebrew on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the paleo on it. That's what I'm trying to get.
Shemba.
Him.
Shemba, okay. So now, let's go back. Okay, so I want to let y'all know, but look, In the same time, what Israel did, y'all look down to all 12, right? Look, if you look here, it says the tribe that they was from, right? And then it comes over and talk about the enemy that they defeated, right? And then they talk about years of what? Years of oppression, of rest. So after the first one here, they had 8 years of oppression, right? And then 40 years of rest. After they was taken, things was. So look now, the days of the judges. Do y'all see that? So that means this is a different type of judge. This is a different type of judge. Now we're gonna get into this. So, what's the name of this first judge?
Othniel? Othniel?
Okay, so the judge Othniel, he was from the tribe of Judah, right? The enemy that he dealt with was, I can't pronounce that. Mesopotamia. And then the oppression, Mesopotamia had Israel under oppression for what, 8 years?
8 years.
Right? So now look now. So in between each of these right here, Israel did the same exact thing. The next one had them 18 years. There's a question mark about the third one, and the fourth one had them oppressed for 20 years. And then they came out and rested, and they rest. Because when you're in oppression, you can't get in the rest if you get oppressed. So after the oppression, they came up with like 40 years of rest. And I think that's 60 years of rest. Then you got a question mark, man, you got 40 years of rest again, right? So what does that tell us about Israel? Israel goes in, they keep the law. There's a board we have there, we're gonna bring that up in a minute. But they go in, they will be obedient to the Most High, and then what happens? They sin, they take on the ways of the heathen, the people that anybody other than Israel. They piss off the Most High, right? He get a great anger for them, and then he penalized them and put them in bondage, in oppression, and then they cry out to him again. He get a certain type of pity for them, give them mercy. They come out, they do good for 40 years, 80 years, 40 years, 23 years. One of them, they only got 6 years in and had to go back. So it's a repetition type thing. That's what Israel do. Then the Most High says, okay, look, y'all might like, I'm putting y'all in for 400. You can, I'll put you in. So the penalty became greater. If you look at it, right? Yeah. The penalty became greater. So now, brother, where you at again?
I'm 22.
22, what in 22?
Deuteronomy chapter 1 and 22. Verse 2.
Deuteronomy 1, no, we don't want to go to 22. Brother Chauncey, if you give me Judges 2 and start at that first verse. Judges 2 and 1. We're going to go to Judges 2 and 1. Brother Darren, if you can give Judges 2 and 10 later for me. You can just mark it, we'll go back to it, and we can stay into the discussion, right?
All right, Judges 2
verse 1.
And an angel of Yahuwah came upon from Galilee.
From Gilgal.
From Gilgal to
Bochim.
And said, I made you to go out of Egypt, and I have brought you unto the land which I swear unto your fathers. And I said, I will never break my covenant with you.
You see that? So by him never breaking his covenant with him is what allows Israel to continue to go in and out of oppression. In and out of oppression. Y'all know when they went into the oppression that slavery came along with the oppression. We do know that, right? And read that second verse.
And ye shall make no league with the inhabitants of this land. You shall throw down their altars, but ye have not obeyed my voice. Why have ye done this?
So why? The Most High asked him, why have you done this? He said, you was not supposed to make any leagues with these people. Right? You supposed to tear down their altars, their gods, you supposed to spoke against their altars. You supposed to tore the altars down. But what Israel did is Israel went out and became a part of. They made a league with them. They became a part of what?
Other nations.
Yes, right, exactly. The worshiping of the small GODs with these other nations. They fell right in place. Like they can escape the Most High. I don't have to do what you say, because I got a God right here. And that's something. Just like your child come to you and tell you, Dad, I ain't got to do what you say. I got a daddy right here. You gonna snatch that boy. I snatched him out of his clothes.
I mean, it's like one of the things that Israel's done. I mean, I guess we can look at it two different ways. One way is like, we're looking at the other nations and envious of the other nations and with all of the stuff that they're doing, and we want to sit up here and join in. We forget about our heritage and our Elohim, perhaps because we can't see him, even though, before he absolutely made himself very, clear through his miracles and things of that nature. But as the generations went on, we're focusing more on what we see instead of what our fathers knew.
Yes. Yes.
So, nations.
Exactly. But see, but we don't know what our fathers knew. Okay, a lot of them don't. Now, we're in that third verse, am I correct?
Started, yeah.
Read it.
Wherefore, I also said, I will not drive them out from before you, but they shall be as thorns in your side, and their gods shall be a snare unto you.
You see that? You tell me that in this hour, how any of us that don't know the truth and not keeping the covenant, how any of us dealing with anybody other than Israel, and sometimes even Israel, but how they have not became a snare unto us. Right? I'm sorry, let me back up. They have not became thorns in the side. Just think about it. You go to your job, sometimes they just ride you like long range ride silver. And then they're protected by their God. Sister in the back of the hand.
I'm looking for the scripture where it says we are born in sin and shaped in iniquity.
Yes.
So Israel, when they worshiped the other gods, it was a justification for them to be in sin. Because if they're engaging in lust and they got these fertility gods, it's going to be easier for them to say, you know what, I'd rather go with this God than be with the righteous God, because the flesh is drawing me away.
Yes. There you have it. Where you at, my brother?
Verse 4.
Read.
And it came to pass, when the angel of Yahweh spake these words unto all the children of Israel, that the people lift up their voice and wept.
But you see, so when they learn better and they understand, they do an act of what? Repentance. They wept. They do the act of repentance. Right? You ready, Brother Darren? Give me Judges 2 and 10.
Judges 2 verse 10. And also that generation were gathered unto their fathers. And there arose another generation after them.
When they say that generation was rose up to their fathers, what does that mean?
Gathered unto their fathers.
Yeah, that means that the present generation died off. So it's just like with us, just like with Moses. When the generation of Moses died off, then the generation of Joshua died off, and we're now dealing with, we're going to go into where the generation of Joshua had died off. So when the generation of Joshua died off, and you look at it back in Moses where the laws was given and all that good stuff went on, and they saw the miracles and everything, Joshua and Caleb saw that, right? But the other people didn't see that, I guess, because a lot of them didn't. The only thing they knew of what Joshua and Caleb had taught to them. But how many people believe what you actually say? How many people have a strong enough sense of belief that they have not seen any other God be able to perform the miracles and perform the power of the Most High that we have, and they can accept in their heart and in their mind that that's possible?
And in addition to that, we will also not, keeping the covenant, because we're supposed to be passing this down to our sons and our daughters. We're supposed to be talking about it all the time.
Yes.
weren't doing that.
You're supposed to pass it on down to the next generation. And then that next generation is supposed to be wise enough or smart enough to catch it. You know, because it has to go, and it's a continuous thing. After each generation, it shouldn't get weaker, it should get stronger, if not level off and stay the same at the point of the intent of the law, of the covenant. Right? So, Brother Darren, where you at?
Going to
Read.
And there arose another generation after them,
Mm-hmm.
which knew not the Most High,
Read.
nor yet the works which he had done for Israel.
Y'all see what we mean? Keep going.
And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of Yahweh, and served Baalim.
Y'all see that? Same thing happening today. Keep going.
And they forsook the Most High, Elohim of their fathers,
Mm-hmm.
which brought them out of the land of Egypt,
Uh-huh.
and followed other gods,
Uh-huh.
of the gods of the people that were round about them,
And what?
and bowed themselves unto them,
And
provoked Yahweh to anger.
once again, read.
And they forsook the Most High,
Mm-hmm.
and served Baal and Ashtaroth.
Okay, hold tight right there. Can you give me the next slide? Okay, keep going again. I'm sorry. You got behind a little bit. Can someone define judge? Okay, keep going. Hold tight right here. Okay, keep going.
And the anger of the Most High was hot against Israel,
Mm-hmm.
and he delivered them into the hands of spoilers
Mm-hmm.
that spoiled them. And he sold them into the hands of their enemies round about,
Mm-hmm.
so that they could not any longer stand before their enemies.
Mm. So now we see why Israel, when you know the history of Israel, and you know how we were the dominant nation of people, the chosen generation of people, the chosen nation, and how the Most High used to protect us in all wars and all that different stuff, and then we come now and we're at the bottom of the chain. You know, that's a humbling situation. Not only that, it should make a person seek the Elohim. But in this case, they got a wrong sense of who the Elohim really is. They don't really know, you know. So we were talking about the word judges, right? Now, we want to keep this with judges. And here, this right here is using the word judge as a noun. Who got that? Can you read that, brother? Can you see that?
According to Merriam-Webster, judge defined as a public official authorized to decide questions brought before a court. One appointed to decide in a contest or competition, umpire, one who gives authoritative opinion, a critic, a tribal hero exercising leadership among the Hebrews after the death of Joshua.
So as we go back, brother. So, okay, so it gave a definition, right? The first definition said, a public official authorized to decide questions about what, a question brought before a court, as one. The next one was, it said, one appointed to decide in a contest or a competition, / like an umpire, like in baseball, right? Yeah, referee or something. Then it said one who gives an authoritative opinion. And then it says critic. But then it comes down and it gives this one right here. This is the one that it's very funny that they have this here, which lines up. This is a historical definition, which is in the totally different book, but it comes out and it ties into exactly what we're saying when it says that a tribal hero. Y'all hear that? Mm-hmm. A judge, which is a tribal hero. That making sense to you now? Because I said there's more than one type of a judge. And then it says exercising leadership among the Hebrews after the death of Joshua. So now that goes back. That generation of Moses went on, then then now Joshua's, what you call people? Generation pass on. Next slide. Then it said, judge as a verb, continue. Number one, it says, to form an opinion about through careful weighing of evidence and testing of premises. That's one. Two, to form an estimate or evaluation of. The third one is that to hold as an opinion. The fourth one is to sit in judgment on. The fifth one, to determine or pronounce after inquiry, after inquiry and deliberation. Now here's the one again. The sixth one is a govern, rule, use of a Hebrew tribal leader. So now let's go back. Go to the next slide, brother. Let's see what that says. Okay. So now, what we got to give an understanding of, and we should want to pick up understanding of here, is that we got when you in Judges what? 10 and where? Who reading that?
I just read from 10 to 14.
10 to 14. Give me that 16th verse. The 16th verse.
Chapter 2, verse 16.
Yes.
Nevertheless,
Yahweh
raised up judges,
Uh-huh.
which delivered them out of the hand of those that spoiled them.
So these judges was the one that would just go back. One more slide, I'm sorry. These judges are the ones that what? To govern and rule and use for a Hebrew tribal leader. So he said he gave them judges to deliver them out of those hands of them that spoiled them. The one that was oppressing them. So this is a different type of judge we're talking about. Right? So in the next slide, my brother. I can't hardly see it. Okay, so it's saying that the judges to govern. Can you see that? The English word judge doesn't well describe these leaders.
Through the root of Hebrew word used meaning primarily to judge, it is used secondarily also in the extended meaning to govern. Most of the judging done in this period was a matter of giving advice and rendering decisions. Regular court procedures are now where described for the times of the judge in Israel. In fact, the most common function they are seen to perform is that of a military leadership.
Next slide. We can't see the other side. So now look. So who is that? Is that the Supreme Court judge right there? That's a different type of judge right there. That's not the one that the Most High put in place. But what we got to understand is what he put in place. So what did he put in place? Okay, so it says the Supreme Court of the U.S. Is the highest court, but they are not like these particular judges that I mentioned. Next slide. Judges 2, 10 through 14, we already did that. I got to hit myself. So now, we have read that. Now, next one. Okay. So next are the two major deities.
False gods Israel worshiped during that time. Baal and Ashtoreth, even today.
And they're even doing these the same way. Look at them. Y'all see that? So the one to the right is Ashtoreth. And we know Baal is the one over on the left. Now how can you, the part I don't get is, and I'm going to tell you, maybe not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but how can you worship something that can't move? How can you worship something that you yourself actually can demolish? You know that? If you get your hand on one of them things, you can tear it up. Can't you? Yeah. Can you not? You get the right snoop. Break astronauts, put little man things down to it. break it down to the lowest denominator. Can't you? No. They don't have a chance that one thing sticking out to it. Next slide. Okay, so now Judges 16, we on point, y'all. Judges 16, Judges 2 and 16. Judges 2 and 16. And have we started reading that yet? That's when we caught up. Okay, read that again, Papa.
Nevertheless, Yahweh raised up judges, which delivered them out of the hand of those that spoiled them.
And read.
And yet they would not hearken unto their judges, but they went a whoring after other gods,
Okay.
and bowed themselves unto them. They turned quickly out of the way which their fathers walked in, obeying the commandments of Yahweh, but they did not so.
Okay, so hold tight. So we found out that in 17 that they walked in the way of these false deities, and they weren't obeying the commandments of who? Of the Most High, right? And they didn't do it right. Hold on for a minute. And everything else on that board. You got the 18th verse? Read.
And when Yahweh raised them up judges, then Yahweh was with the judge and delivered them out of the hand of their enemies.
But now what's the important part about this? Yahweh was with the judge. It's different from having a judge that he's with and one that he's not with. Because we have learned that over a period of time, historically and biblically, that when the Most High is with you, who can stand against you? It's not possible, am I correct? Read, my brother.
Raised them up and delivered them out of the hand of their enemies all the days of the judge. For it repented the Most High because of their groanings by reason of them that oppressed them and vexed them.
So remember last week we talked about the groaning. Y'all remember that? A lot of us was here, a lot of us wasn't here. But it was talking about the groaning of the saints. When they were groan, Israel was groaning to the Most High. It was a part of a prayer. And those groanings are something that cannot be detected by, they cannot be uttered. Which is that it's something that you hear a groan, but you can't decipher what that groan is. But the Spirit connects the mind of the prayer unto the Most High. Y'all with me so far? So they pray against those that vex him. And read that 18th verse. Yeah, where's that?
Okay, so I'm wondering, it said they wouldn't hearken.
Right.
The judges. So
Back up.
when they were led out, did the ones who wouldn't hearken, were they led out also? And maybe those were the ones that groaning and moaning, or
Well, it's like in most cases, right? So you got to think about what's going on. It's not like today. Today, if we all in here, and then you got some people that say, well, look, man, I don't trust that word. I don't believe in the Bible and what they say in that scripture right there. So, eventually they fall off and you don't see them coming back anymore. But in this case, these people was traveling in groups. They had to deal with animals and snakes and all that other different things that's out there, right? And so a lot of them probably fell off, but in most cases they stayed with the nation of people. So, but Israel is basically is judged from top to bottom, not from bottom to top. Yes, ma'am.
I was gonna say, it was like, in a sense, he was showing grace and mercy to a man. Because he was like, they were serving us false gods, and yet he was like, they didn't listen to their judges, but he was with the judges, and he was showing himself more powerful in them, so they can look at them and mock them and be like, oh, he's really with them, and I need to get in line.
Right.
Because it's getting worse for us now.
Right.
So it was kind of like him showing a sense of mercy instead of like killing them off at that point. He was like, let me show them that I'm going to use these people to help them get out of this.
Exactly. Because remember what Israel did. Israel they would repent, go back and sin, moan and groan. Then before you know it, he sent them a refuge. Right?
yes, I think like in the daytime, got so many of us who we love our captivity.
Yeah, we were talking about that the other day.
We love our captivity. Stop motion from going on. And if you, if somebody would come right now and say, okay, you know, leave y'all out, we can see the Most High on it.
Right.
So a lot of people like, no.
Right.
Because exactly because we have put jobs, we have put houses, we have put cars, we have put our association with people, our status among people. We put all that above the Most High.
Sports.
I can't come sports. I can't. I can't. You know, I can't. How would you say? Recognize the Most High. I can't do a certain part of an assimilable situation when it comes down on the Sabbath because I got to be here and protect this house. I got to clean my car. I got to go do this. I got to do that. We always got a reason why we can't be there. And we make the Most High secondary versus him being a primary. The Most High is supposed to be primary. I can't do this because of that. There's always a reason why they can't do when they got two things going, and one thing being a point of support or a point of belief or a point of the arrival of the keeping of the covenant. They will always choose, in most cases, the one other than the covenant suffers so that the world can live in their hearts. If that makes sense to you. We put the covenant on the back tower, right? Because with the world comes all these devices. With the world come all these things that we have. She said that. Yes.
Yeah. Also, I realize that some people don't realize that we are the lowest of the men because they're looking at the people that they emulate, that they admire, so they don't even realize their own status. They don't realize that we are the lowest. So they're just happy, like Sister said, they're just happy where they are because that's how they see themselves and others as opposed. They don't really understand where they are, where our people are. So.
And you know what? And it don't really take a status of having a new house. It don't take a status of having a new car. It don't take a status of having great clothes. It don't take a status. I gotta get my cleaners done so I can look great. It can be even those ones in the trenches, the ones at the bottom feeders of Israel, the ones that's living in. And now I'm gonna say this word right. I'm gonna say this word, but if you look this word up, you're gonna find out that that's where they used to keep Israel. There's definitely going to say a place where Israel was kept, right? So when you use the word ghetto and you look up the word ghetto, you're going to find out that Israel was kept in the ghetto. That's something that we don't look at. So you don't have to be, it don't have to be some lavish thing that we put before the Most High. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, because I was just thinking, like, looking at people, and where I work with, they come from the hardest parts of the city, and they're content because of that status in their neighborhood. So it's like, I'm somebody in this new, small, devastated pocket, but to them that means a lot. And so that means I go hard, that means I want to change because I'm looked at it as I'm hard.
Right, right.
That's what it means to them. And they don't have a mind to really shift gears. And that's in every aspect of Israel, regardless of what walk of life we come from. That's how we are.
That's another captivity right there.
That's a captivity. It is.
It is.
Yes, ma'am.
We moved here my senior year in high school from South Carolina. And we went to Southeast, and I went to Eastern. I went up to, and I remember going to school, and everybody looked like they had just walked into a fashion show every morning. You know, everybody was dressed from head to toe, $500-600 worth of clothes. This is back in the 80s. Yeah, this back in the 80s. And I'm walking around like, who did they just go to? You know, and then when you get off the bus, the city bus, and you see they all walk down, they're all walking down into the projects, they're all down to the ghettos and stuff like that. And I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, like that. And while we would sit in class, and they would sit there and they would talking and playing and throwing paper, and the teacher just writing on the board. And I'm like, I'm sitting in class, I'm like, you know, down south, you sat there, you were quiet, and you listened to what the teacher said.
Right.
You had to go. And I'm like, what is this? That's just like a Zoom.
All right.
Everybody is sharp from head to toe, but nobody listens to anything
That you know knowledge.
the teacher said. So I went for 2 weeks. I got up, I walked outside with the teacher, she looked at me. She ain't asked me, where you going? I walked out the room, I walked out the building, I went back to the city bus, went home. Mama said, you got school early? I said, no. I said, I'm not going back. I said, I'm 18 years old, if you find me, you know, a good school to go to.
All done.
I'm going back south and live by somebody, you know, down
Back
south.
then with it, right. Complete my education.
Yeah, my education, so I didn't want to take the bus and subway to school there, boy, in Maryland. I mean, they were sharp from head to toe, like we go in the lunchroom, everybody sitting there, and they looked at me like I stank. Yeah, I know, in the South, I was sharp. So like, I had my Jordans and all this stuff. No. You don't pay, you know, $30 for your jeans. I paid $200 for mine. So
Right.
Sister, I'm sorry you had to go through that. We didn't mean to be that way. I went to Eastern too. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
So now there's a scripture that says children are our oppressor. Now how can that be? Let's think about that. Right? It's easier for a mother to raise a daughter that wears $30 jeans than it is for a mother to raise a daughter that wears $200 jeans. That $200 can help you get out the ghetto, right? Now, if you buy $30 jeans, you might be able to get out of there and save some money and do something different. But if you allow, because your children got to have a certain taste, they got to look better than the next child, there's no humbleness there.
But it goes back to what you were saying earlier about generation. They didn't know it in that generation or the generation before that, so then the cycle never breaks until somebody wakes up and say, hold on.
Yes.
This is the way we're supposed to be.
Yes.
Now let me put it back in order. Other than that, we'll continue to do those same things. We got a lot of questions back there.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead, sister. Now we're going to go to Sister.
Yeah, I was saying, you know, on top of that, the things the kids doing these days to get that money, to go and buy these expensive stuff they try to get.
Yes.
Robbing and stealing and taking from other people to go get these things they want.
Yeah, that's right. They are robbing. And guess what? They rob them right where they are. It's like a madhouse. They'll rob you right there in the building. You're a student, you trying to get some lessons, they will rob you there. They will rob on your way there after you leave there.
And the robbers are the ones that get popular from home. You know, for doing bad stuff. Those are the ones that get esteemed for doing bad stuff.
And then the other people respect the robber. And then there's something, they get respected and they get honored for being a robber.
Is it respected or scared?
Well, either way, yeah. They get a status.
Yeah, that's true.
I say I blame rap for that.
You blame rap?
I blame rap for that.
Okay.
That's what they all rap about. You know, everybody listens to that and respect it.
Rap music.
He playing rap music, but a lot of people, that's all they rap about, and people respect that, so people begin to do that.
It plays a big part, but you can look at movies, TV, all music.
It's all part of
Right.
But you can't, but the thing is, you can't carry a TV on your back.
No, but now
You can't take the newscast on your back.
Oh, now you
But
can on your phone.
But you,
On your phone.
Yeah, well, what you know, is gonna be walking down the street watching the news.
Not the news.
They gonna be walking down the street with their, they gonna be getting all that in.
Yeah.
I Shoot you down here, pick you back up.
I mean,
Bury you again and make you die. I don't know what they be saying, but that was like me. Every time I see them, I think they're going crazy on the court. Dude was like this. They didn't know.
But why didn't they know? Because they weren't taught.
Exactly.
hold on, Sister Kelly.
Because the parents erred somewhere. But somebody's parent is not following through.
It changed. It changed because in my generation, rap was just coming out. Right? So we would hear rap music. Now his generation, they're on a whole other level. They scared me walking down the street.
But that's the generation after you.
I know, that's what I'm saying. They're worse now than we were then.
So how do we know, how do you think that Joshua them felt as Joshua was getting ready to go out and the new generation was coming in? Don't you know Joshua saw that?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
I was gonna say one, because the scripture say the world will wax worse and worse. Yeah, well, that's one. But the other thing, when you look at the rappers and stuff, we're talking about Israel, who is the poorest nation everywhere.
Yeah.
You look at these people and you see this is how I get out, this is how I get money. So if they rapping like this, I gotta do this because they did this. They say they did this. They got money doing this. Now they got a record deal, so they ain't gotta do that no more. So this how I'm gonna get famous. This how I'm gonna get money because I gotta do what they did to get what they got.
Right. But in the process of that, they get caught up in Illuminati. In the process of that,
they never make it. They most million% of them really gonna go to jail before they even make it to that one person they want to be.
Which is not a good person in the first place.
Sister Kashanda. I didn't get it right. I know I should have got the right sister. Been on the whole life. I didn't get the name
I
right.
just got a scripture. But Matthew 16 and 26, it says, for what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? So, like we talking about right now, you know, with everybody, just listening to the influences of like these rappers and stuff like that, and them giving themselves to the Illuminati, it's like really real out here. Like when they give themselves to these people, they clone them. Sometimes they take them to jail, they clone them, and different things like that. So they basically just lose their entire self. They die. So they lose their soul.
Exactly, because if you get a rapper, let's think about what they're doing now. If you get a rapper that can make millions over millions of dollars, and then he has some kickback on, I want my money. It's okay, come on, little rapper. And take him back in the back, right? And now, most of them, they can subdue you. They subdue him, right? Clone him. And where the real guy goes, you never know. Because I'm going to tell you, what's that? I can't think of one boy. He left here one way and came back a whole different guy. Dave Chappelle.
Oh, yeah.
But we don't want, but we ain't going to get into that. I'm just saying, I don't want to get into that. I'm going to get back to the lesson. But, yeah, Prince.
Yeah. Prince and Michael Jackson, that's pretty much why they ended up gay.
That's why they,
They had bought in
After they
and got the fake riches, and then they wanted to bow out, and they couldn't because
say that again.
you know, they had bought into the system to get their riches and fame, and then they say, hey, I want out, and there's no out. There's artists right now that's 70 years old say that they have to continue to perform because of commitments they made.
Aretha Franklin was one as well.
You
But
know,
wait a minute, let's go with this right here though. Israel took a blood covenant. They took a blood covenant too. The only way out of Israel is death. The covenant that we have. The only way out of the covenant that they take is death. No matter what they realize, no matter what they decide they want to do, it's death. It's not the decision. Yeah, Tupac and Fat Boy, all of them still got the same thing going on. What's his name? Too Fat?
But you know, to bring
Biggie,
like
Biggie,
speaking on
Biggie.
him right now, I was just thinking this. It's the way that the directors, you know, because we know the people that run the music industry, all of them are astronauts, right? Khazars. And so they set them up and program them and teach them. When you tell a guy, if I tell you, I want you to go and tell them the only way to get this money is to sell crack rock or have a wicked jump shot. Those are the only two options. You go deliver that message, Brother Eric hear that, now that's the only thing he got in his mind. Either I gotta get a better jump shot, or I gotta go sell him some crack. That's the only way I'm gonna get this money. That's what they program Biggie to say. And they bought into it.
Well,
That's
also,
what they're giving them millions to do. That's they
Exactly.
they
well, just rap, jump shot, crack, all that together. All that, don't just know, all that same.
That's what it
Like you
is.
said, it's TV, it's part of the entire system. Just like Brother Reggie was saying, I mean, like we don't see ourselves, because we don't understand Israel for one thing, and then we don't see ourselves. You might look at you know, the people on TV or the people, celebrities, and instead of and more so see ourselves as possibly aspiring there, as opposed to looking at ourselves all around the world and see what our actual position is. Sure. You know what I mean?
So
It's funny how the Jewish people like this.
they announced the Jewish people when they supposedly killed these Jewish people down the street not too far. They announced them as being Jews on the news. They didn't say Jewish, they said the Jews are coming together on this Sabbath right here. They come together on this Sabbath to mourn. Who mourns on the Sabbath?
Nobody.
The Sabbath is not a day of mourning.
The Talmud is.
So why would they come together and mourn on the Sabbath? Because they're not true Israel.
Nobody has to let them.
They are the issues. They just call them, they just say the
It's
issues.
something like it.
They're just issues with issues.
It's something like it. They try to be.
Something like a Jew.
Something like a Jew. We're gonna take some of their customs, but that's all of
We
them.
ain't get it all.
That's all of the sorcery anyway. That's all that sorcery.
Yeah.
What we talking about? That's all.
But all these things, the basketball, the football, the rap, the what else you say you gotta do, the crack, the heroin, the drug dealing, and all this stuff, is still the same way of them to oppress us. It's still the same way to keep us under their control. If we are out there doing everything and our minds are anywhere except for where it's supposed to be, which is locked into what it takes to keep the covenant, they have won. They are winning the battles inside the trenches based on that alone.
And constantly throwing temptations out there. I mean, you see that. Well, you see it a lot more obviously in Maccabees when they're telling you, hey, slay this, do this to this pig in your temple, blah blah blah, or else.
Right.
Now, I mean, it's not as direct, but they baking this, baking that. They put it everywhere. They're showing you all these different temptations, making you, tempting you to want to be a part of all that stuff.
Yes, sir.
I believe they're reaping what they sowed with those drugs. I believe they're reaping it.
Oh
Some
yeah.
of the opioid.
Oh yeah.
Now it's a crisis. It's a crisis now.
Back when they attacked the Black Panthers with it, it was just a black thing that they did because they were animals. But now that they get the little white kids, now it's a crisis. Now we have a national crisis.
They didn't have a choice; they just got hit with it.
And
everybody else is a choice. They decided.
And people that are drug counselors and stuff, their pay rate should go up. And I don't know why it's not, but it should. They be paying people a lot of money, man.
He advocating for you, sister.
I was staying home and over.
He advocating.
Yeah, that's okay.
No, I was just saying, but everything we're talking about, right, it takes away again from Israel's greatest potential.
You do take away from that greatest potential.
Knowing who we are and knowing, just thinking about all the things we really don't even know we invented and did.
Right.
And we lock our minds because we don't believe we can go much further. We don't believe how intelligent we really can be. And that's how the Most High created us, because they have said that this is all you will ever amount to. And so where you don't know that you can use your hands and invent stuff and create stuff and use your mind and be the most brilliant scientist or whatever it is that the Most High can make you, because He made you to be above intellectually too. But we don't know that because we've run into a lot of wisdom.
That's the importance of history. That's the importance of knowing our history. That's the importance of knowing our fathers and what our fathers did. You know, which is what he says, return to me, return as your fathers. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're supposed to go back, but we don't value that.
Right.
We call that malarkey, you know, with our people. You know what I'm saying? It's about today and moving forward and forgetting about, you know, what happened before. Well, that's who we were.
Even in slavery, everything we invent, all the cities, all the slaves, the slaves created, the traffic, everything, the refrigerator, everything we use about it. When we don't even think about it.
Now,
Think about it.
but there's a,
It's
go ahead.
brilliant how they did in slavery too.
Mhm.
That we always pass things down. We told our children, we told our grandchildren, we told this, but if they took the father away, or they took the mama away, they took the kids and sold them over here, and sold them over there. So
Right.
if we can separate them, then nobody's gonna tell them the story.
They removed the wise away from the unwise, right? One. But let me say this real quick, right? Now, we're gonna try to jump back in this lesson, but we're letting me have a 4-part lesson. But it's okay. It's okay because I'd rather for us to get through a lesson with understanding than to rush through it with no understanding. Nowadays, kids don't respect their parents enough to get the information they need to get. Because they have become the oppressor, according to Scripture. It has to go that way. I'm not saying all kids, I'm saying some kids. When you bring up your child in the way in which he should go, then that child does not become an oppressor. But when you give them enough slack where they can do whatever they want to do, then yes, they become an oppressor, right? But I'm going to tell you, the biggest thing coming down the pipe right now in this hour that Israel needs to look at as another form of this. Who is that people over there in Africa that say all the American blacks can come back? Ghana. Ghana has seen how these folk, how black people have built up America, and their reason for bringing them back home, do y'all know that they can build up Ghana? They want to bring you back over there, put you back into slavery. The only job they want to give you is the ones that if you can't turn a wrench, if you can't build something, they want to build up Ghana, but they want to build it on our backs again. What foolish man would accept that? And then, Ghana, are they really our people? Some of them, yes. Right. But are they wise enough where they would not call us back or try to get us back over there to abuse us or to become another oppressor?
Are they calling Israel back, or are they calling Black Americans back?
Right. They call back the slave. They want the slave back. They don't want the kings and queens back. They want the slaves back.
Yes, there's a girl who cut my hair, she's from Ghana, and she said she's been over here 25 years. She was visit, and she said she drove by a community. It was a beautiful gated community. And she said, what, you know, because she had never seen that before in Ghana.
Right.
Said, what's that? And the girl said, they're your people. She said, what you mean they're my people? She said, they're African Americans. So they come over here and they literally build their own community, businesses and stores. And I said, yeah, I have to go visit them. You know, a few, maybe once a week or once every week, go in their community, African American community. So we got.
So in some cases, it can be a good thing. Yeah. In some cases, but in some cases, if it's going to be a form of abuse, I don't want no part of it. Oh, they retired today. So they ain't looking to make no money. They going to get settled.
Or they set up to be the next oppressor.
Are they right? Are they set up to be the next oppressor? They'll start a business. You go out and work for them.
Come out there, look at me. I'm shining. You want to come and work for me? And I'm retired, but you can do the work.
Right. Just add to their plate. Where's it at?
All sense of, you think you're going back home, and that's not your home.
Right.
Your home in essence is Israel.
Exactly.
You might have went out on a boat from there, but
Right.
that's not your home.
Exactly.
Secondly, they're also working on building a U.S. military base over there.
Yeah.
Oh, you see? You know these people got their hand in it now.
That's right.
They're not going to easily release you out of here. You've been a good nigga. I'm sorry, we take that back, nigga word.
When the China to go over there, it'll be 13.
You said China?
China there.
Up there everywhere, they all.
You see, they everywhere.
They
No, they in Africa.
13 police stations, they say, in South Africa, and, they take over, they take it back in, to, Colombia. They're just not too late.
But you know,
They're in every country.
but that goes right back to what Scripture says, though. They trodden down the land. They all these nations are going over there. They're benefiting from that land over there because, trust me, these heathens looking for somewhere to go. They done tore up everything else. Now they want to go over there and get all the minerals and tear that up. But yes, ma'am.
But I was thinking about scripture-wise, it reminds you of like how they initially invited Israel to come over to Egypt.
Yeah.
And then when they got there after the king knew not Joseph.
Israel started, yeah.
And they in bondage again right now. We don't know who these people is coming over here.
They're gonna be like President Trump. They're gonna be building a wall, but their wall not to keep people out. Is to keep the one, is to keep the Hebrews that's here, keep you in.
But you know, it seems as though it all comes back to knowing who we are, because when we talk about the folks in the neighborhood that's doing all these robbing and stealing and all, they don't know who they are. And then the people that leave from that neighborhood, some of them act like it's the worst thing just to drive through it. They've forgotten and they don't know who they are, so they don't know that they are their people. And so we just destroyed. You know, that's why we can't love each other, because we don't know who we are.
Right. And when you go in, but there are times that I used to walk. I remember when we first came over here, I used to walk, and I would go out by myself, and I would go into the neighborhoods, and I would talk to people. They said, "How do you go in the neighborhood by yourself?"
Right.
And talk to them. In fact, we was a part of this 8 people thing, and they wonder how did I go out over into those neighborhoods and talk to
That's
people
how they talk.
by myself.
That's right.
But I would go in there by myself. I would receive when I went in there, but there was also people that were skeptic. Oh, I don't want to hear nothing about that. No. And I said, I'm trying to, I'm saying this is the truth. They said, who's true? That's the question. The question I always get is, who's true?
Right.
Israel's true. Who's true?
They don't know.
We not Israel. Oh, come on, try that. You read it. I ain't got time for that, bro. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. Hey, man, you got a joke? And they go along, they go.
But that's one of the things I was going to say. Is with us, we don't know, and that's one of the things that divide us. When you look at other races or groups or whatever, they unite with each other. We pull away from each other. Even now, as being awoken Israelites, we still have separation and division. There's so many different sects where you want to believe Joseph was the father, you don't believe this, and so now you can't. And so then we just get separated over these things. But this was the way they set it up throughout their think tanks that they have. They still have these think tanks to the day on how to set up and keep us separate. So,
and what we got to realize is this: we're separating ourselves over stuff that's not going to even get you into the kingdom.
We separate ourselves, but we wanted to be with them when we should have stayed separate from them and stayed with our own. Then we would know better, so we could do better.
Right. I mean, yeah, true enough, right? But whether Joseph is the daddy or not, we don't get involved in that. But we have another thought ourselves. We don't believe that.
Right.
That's something we don't believe. We want to make that a record. We don't believe that Joseph is daddy. But dealing with that issue alone and cause that to be a division between us is a problem, because that shouldn't be an issue of separation. But the thing about that is that when you know what you know, when you know what you know, and you believe in the Ruach in a way that the Ruach is supposed to believe in, personally, I wouldn't even brought that to anybody. I would have brought anybody. That's just my stance. I don't want to get into that because I'm heading into another direction. Let's get into Judges 2. Real quick, we have about a couple minutes. I don't know if I should even do this, but because we're getting ready to bring in. Did we do Judges 2, 3, and 2 already? Right? We have 19. You gotta read 19.
Judges 2, verse 19.
Uh-huh.
And it came to pass, when the judge was dead, that they returned and corrupted themselves more than their fathers, in following other gods to serve them and to bow down unto them. They cease not from their own doings, nor from their stubborn way.
So now we're not gonna go into the 12 judges today. We're not gonna do it. It's not gonna happen. And because if we get involved in it, then we're gonna go over and we're not gonna get to tie things in the way I want to, and I want to tie them in real fast. Okay? But that's a good scripture to read to close with, right? Because it came to pass. When the judges was dead, remember, what was the definition of the judge? The judge was to do what? To govern, right? Right? And they govern as they're like temporary leaders. That's why after the 12th judge came through, the 12 judges all the way up until who? All the way up until Samuel. No, right, Samson, but Samuel was not a judge. But it's all the way to Samson was the last judge, of course, right? But it's funny that Samuel wasn't one, but we're not going to get into that because we know what he was. But after that became Saul, which was a king. After Saul became David, which was a king. After David became Solomon, which was a king. Right? Huh?
The real judges had ordained was associated with the Most High.
Yes, because the Most High was with the judges. Right? So now, it says that when the judge was dead, it said that they returned and corrupted themselves more than their fathers. So they corrupted themselves more than the generation before them. You see? Because the judges were removed. But these judges that we're talking about, these are the judges that went through and they slew nations. These particular judges went through and slew nations. These judges went through and they weren't the ones that said, that whole nation will be judged. Just like the Most High gave Saul a commandment to go kill that whole nation, and Saul didn't do it. Right? These judges saw it and went and did it. They went and got it done. So that was the big thing about these particular judges. These judges was not the type of judge that sat on a panel. So the judge that we're going to bring forth in our next Shabbat class is going to be these judges. And our first judge will be who? Othniel. So that's it right there. Othniel. So we're going to start next week off with Judge Othniel and thank you, my brother. So we're going to start with Judge Othniel, and he was of the tribe of Judah, and his enemy was I can't see the verse was Mesopotamia, and they was oppressed 8 years before Othniel came in and put down the foot on these heathens and got them out of our way. And then after that, he did so well that it was 40 years that they went through. Because after the judge passed on and after the judge died, the people go back to their old ways. So the Most High was in judges do to get them out of their situations because they cried to the Most High. But after that judge died, they go right back into their old ways. That's what that final scripture said. Am I correct, my brother?
One other thing I wanted to bring up, I should have found the scripture first. But there's a belief that I'll say God. In the Old Testament was bad. He was a bad guy. He was mean. Blah blah blah. And so now we're in the New Testament.
He's a real loving fellow.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Almost gay.
Right. Right. So that's like the common belief. But we saw just earlier, it repented him. In other words, he felt sorry for them that they were that they were being oppressed and felt bad, which is the reason why he sent the judge in the first place.
Right.
But I'm just saying, just drawing the comparison.
Yes.
Because people will say stuff. He never changes. He never changes.
Yes.
But then they still draw these different comparisons, like it's not the same It's not the same, the Most High is different.
Right, but when I say, when I made the statement, I want to make sure y'all get that right word for me, from what I'm saying. I'm saying that the Elohim that we know, the Elohim that puts down order to go do different things, to get things done for the nations and make things happen, and the one we know, when our Hamashiach come back, and how we know he's going to come back, he is nowhere near Saul. But this new guy that they brought out in the New Testament, we understand him to be the same Elohim, the same Hamashiach. But Christians have took this thing and turned it to a point where this guy's Saul. It's like the guy with a tutu. I mean, we don't. That's not the guy we know. That's not the guy we deal with. And we need to keep that up front, because the less respect that they have for our Elohim and for our Redeemer, right? Our Hamashiach, the less respect they have for him, the less they will follow him, the less that they reverence him. And we got to make sure we keep that up front within ourselves, just how, and we got to keep pressing at who he is, how strong he is, how divine he is, how much reverence he really deserves.
I think about when my husband was the first sergeant, they sent him into 3 different units, like for 2 years apiece. And it's called fixing things. They sent him into units to get them together. And as long as he was in those units were good, everybody ran.
Yeah.
The majority was us down in Fort Wayne. It was always like 70-75% us. And as soon as he would leave, I always thought it was so strange. As soon as he would leave, it's like a month or 2 later, people start calling. And then everybody went back to the way it used to be, and we got to talk with this, we got to talk with that. And they sent him from one unit to another unit. And we go fix this unit, As soon as they would leave, I was like, but that's just us.
They said the opposite there.
And the person that's stern, and the person that's about discipline and doing what you're supposed to do is not there. As soon as they leave, everybody like, okay. It's like a rapid meeting. When they didn't like what was going on with it, they would go to the other person and pick
up their customs and everything. Yes, of course. But another thing we got to realize is that when the Most High put forth these judges, he set up a government in Israel. It was the government that he set up. We didn't get to that, but I'm going to jump out there a little bit farther and tell part of the next lesson to come, is that he set up a government. And he also talked about captains, and captains of 1,000, captains of 10,000, captains of 20, and stuff like that. But he set that up, and it was in a governmental type of thing. And that's why you got a lot of different people. You got a lot of different these groups out here talking about they got captains inside their ABC groups, and they got lieutenants in their ABC groups, because these heathens, these guys are seeking self-praise for themselves. They got to have a status. We don't need a status to do what the Most High set up for us to do. We will keep it. We keep it in a spiritual situation where we have deacons, but that is a part of a ministry type situation. It's not one of those things where you got a captain and you got to do what the lieutenant say, and you got to do what the sergeant say, and all that. No group came in and tried to make me a captain. How am I gonna be a captain? You be the captain. Better yet, how they say, you be the. I don't know how they put it, but they gonna make me a captain. They gonna make me an elder. What they gonna make me? What they want to take over? Nah, you take that. You get on back on down the road. We got 2 people here. We good. Keep on moving with it. So we got to understand that don't get caught up in that thing that the reason why he gave them captains and stuff, because he set up a government inside of Israel. He didn't set it up so that people can become big eyes and little U's. We don't have that here, and we won't have that here. If it become that, we as brethren need to come unto each other, and we need to put that in place, because that's not something that was geared up to be. So we need to keep that in eye. But they did set up a government, and I got brother Kevin wanna.
I got what I was saying, 2, 3, 4 things just popped in my mind.
Okay.
But I guess I do want to say, Yah is absolutely love. That's scripture. Yah is love. But what happens, I think, just like we were talking about, is that people focus on that part, and they know all the scriptures about that part. They don't know the scripture about the other part of it.
Right.
He's multi-dimensional.
They want that wrath, the God of wrath.
Right. They want some right.
Uh-huh.
And honestly, it's all sweet because it's all righteous and it's all for his people. But again, they have the incorrect understanding and mindset. Don't understand what his purpose is, and don't understand what we have to do with it. In other words, the role that we have in the wrath that we've gotten in the past. You know what I'm saying? And what we need to do in order to come back into his understanding.
Right, they'll talk about the love, they won't talk about the part that he created good and he created evil.
They don't talk about love is keeping his commandments.
Right, exactly.
They don't talk about that.
No, they don't talk about that because then they gotta line up. They gotta, they gotta do something. One guy was telling me, I don't know who it was I was talking to. They said that they were a Christian church and they would go to the Christian church and on their way down the steps, that they would see people kissing, going down the steps and kissing around the corner and making out in the church and all that stuff. I said, what? And he told me what church it was. I don't know who this guy was I was talking to. And he told me, I said, I don't know. I said, wow. He said, well, that's why I left there. He was like, I said, okay, well, it is what it is. He was named to the church. I said, you know this church? I said, yeah, I know this church. But hey, it is what it is. But we got to make sure that we stand by Elohim for what he is, what he stands for, right? So we want once again, we want to thank each and every one of you for your time. I want to thank each and every one of you brothers for your participation, for the knowledge that you guys have brought forward today. Thank you for the readers, the guys that's over the camera. We want to thank you. We want to thank each and every one of you out here in the audience. Definitely, we want to thank you guys for partaking inside this lesson. Of course, it didn't go to the full end of it, but it gave us another day for another lesson. So we're gonna take up that. We're gonna go back. We're gonna highlight this lesson next week, but we're gonna go into the lesson of the judges. So at this particular time, I want to say thank you for your time.